Well, good Saturday evening to you. Tonight, this is our weekly devotional based on the Revised Common Lectionary. And in case you wonder what the Revised Common Lectionary is, it's a series of readings from the Bible. There is an Old Testament reading, a Psalm, a New Testament reading, and a Gospel reading every week. And it's a 3-year cycle, and basically in that 3 years, you will end up reading through a good 75% of the scriptures in a 3-year time period. So it's a great way, especially even for preachers, so that we don't end up, because we love to go to our favorite passages, and this is a way to keep you from just kind of recycling the same thing over and over and over again. So we are in the Revised Common Lectionary. It is the 25th Sunday after Pentecost. It is the last of the Sundays that are labeled so many Sundays after Pentecost, which is where the whole idea of ordinary time comes from. Ordinary is kind of a word that comes from the word ordinal, which means counted time. So we've been counting time since Pentecost. This is the 25th Sunday after Pentecost. And so, and it is the last one that we count that way. Next week is Christ the King Sunday. Our church is doing things a little differently tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to celebrate Christ the King Sunday because we have a big Thanksgiving dinner planned the next week. So I'll be preaching from a passage about Christ the King Sunday this coming Sunday. But we find ourselves on this last Sunday of ordinary time, 25th Sunday of ordinary time. We find ourselves in the Gospel of Mark. We have been in the Gospel of Mark over these last few months. And we find ourselves in Mark's Gospel, chapter 13. As Jesus was leaving the temple that day, one of his disciples said, "Teacher, look at these magnificent buildings. Look at the impressive stones in the walls." This is all very impressive. And, we could do the same thing when we look around our buildings. We say, oh man, what cool stuff we have. What a great worship team we have. And all this good stuff, what a good sound system. What a good lighting system. What great video we have. What great things we've got. Our building is in good shape. And Jesus replied, yes, it is impressive. Yes, these look great. Look at these great buildings. But they will be completely demolished. Not one stone will be left on top of another. Whoa! Jesus is prophesying the destruction of the temple. I can imagine if a pastor, of a teacher, preacher would prophesy the destruction of their church building. That would be, people would be quite upset about that. And that's exactly what Jesus has done to the Jewish people. He says, yeah, these are great buildings. They're magnificent structures. They're doing some great things there, but it's all going to be destroyed. Disciples probably didn't know what to do about that. If there were some people overhearing it, they were probably like, man, this guy's a little strange. Later, Jesus sat at the Mount of Olives across the valley from the temple. Peter, James, and John and Andrew came to him privately and asked him, Tell us, when will all this happen? What sign will show us that these things are about to be fulfilled? How is it going to come about that the temple is going to be destroyed, this magnificent structure? How's it going to happen? This great structure built by Herod. How is that going to disappear? What are the signs? Jesus replied, "Don't let anyone mislead you. For many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah. They will deceive many, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, And the end won't follow immediately. Nation will go against war against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in many parts of the world, as well as famines. But this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come. And it is. And, sometimes we can take a little bit of Daniel, we can take a little bit of Revelation, and we can combine them with Jesus' teachings, and we say, look, and we look around and say, look how crazy the world is. Jesus certainly is coming back. And I really think Jesus later on talks about watching and praying. And so much, and it seems like my themes of late is this idea of worrying about all the evil that's around us. We worry about it and we try to denounce it. And yet Jesus is saying, yeah, don't worry about that, but watch and pray. Make sure your hearts, as we come up into this season of Advent. Advent is all about a season of preparation, preparing our hearts for not only the Christmas story, that Jesus is born in a manger in Bethlehem, that the Word of God became flesh and dwelt among us, but Jesus is also reminding us to prepare our hearts, as the great hymn writer Isaac Watts writes, let every heart prepare him room. Yeah, that's an Advent. Joy to the World is an Advent hymn that talks about Jesus coming back. Yeah, Advent is a word that means coming. It means that Jesus is coming. Jesus came once as a baby in Bethlehem, and Jesus is coming again. That when he came to Bethlehem, that was his first Advent. When he comes again, that'll be his second Advent. And so the question is are we prepared? Are we watching? Are we praying for Jesus' return? I think it's a pretty good lead up into next week when we talk about Christ the King Sunday, and even a better leading as we hit into Advent and we talk about his return. So, are you ready? Are you ready are you keeping a watch? Is your heart prepared for the return of Jesus? Go in peace to love and serve the Lord.